IABC Ottawa presents
a media-style production.
The Voice takes listeners inside all corners of the communications, marketing and creative sectors.
It's real-life stories from the ground shakers of Marcom.
what can we do to help you take your career to the next level. I'm Graham McCatchick, and this is The Voice.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Bird. I'm an independent consultant, marketeer, and writer. WebRTC, in conjunction with HTML5 and cloud communications of all kinds, is going to make it easier for a much larger pool of application developers to incorporate communications directly into their applications. And that's what's relevant to marketeers and organizations of all sorts today, to create better, richer experiences with their customers and in their marketing activities.
I'm Mark Lindsay. I'm working at the University of Ottawa, and I work as a senior business consultant, building business cases and generating revenues. What's so incredibly important about WebRTC, it is going to be part of the way in which we adopt communication within the next 5 years. So in the same way that we all learn to turn on a PC, we are all going to learn to be part of this amazing technological opportunity any place in the world. And it's just around the corner.
MediaStyle is a progressive, digital-first public affairs agency. Our team are experts at crafting strategy, creating content, and building communities of action, and measuring the results. We're passionate about what we do. We're innovators in social media and interactive design, and we're helping shape the new Canadian media landscape.
So come visit our studio in downtown Ottawa. We'll put the coffee on and chat about how we can help you tell your story.
Hi everyone, I'm your host Graham McCatchick. Today we're diving in to learn about web real-time communication, better known as WebRTC, and what every marketer and communicator needs to know about this fast-emerging technology. But first, let's set the stage and think about today's marketing communications landscape. On October 22nd of this year, 2013, tech analyst firm Forrester Research issued a new report titled The Rise of Marketing Orchestration. Basically, the idea is that the future of marketing means moving away from standalone linear campaigns. And the report states that in this day and age, marketers must orchestrate cross-channel interactions that work together to create personalized experiences in order to engage today's always connected, never in one place consumers. What a mouthful. But with that in mind, we're going to talk about WebRTC and place it into context within today's marketing landscape. Joining me today via Skype is Lawrence Bird, an independent consultant and writer with extensive experience in communications and now also with WebRTC. Lawrence, how are you doing today?
Hi, good morning and afternoon to everybody.
Also joining us today via Skype is Mark Lindsay, president of the Ottawa Product Management Association. Mark, how are you doing today?
Doing very well.
So, Lawrence, what is WebRTC?
WebRTC, or Web Real-Time Communication, is putting voice and video and data sharing capabilities directly into browsers and mobile devices. It's being driven by Google and a whole host of other companies. There's a lot of standards activity going on. But for marketeers, you should see it as a way of providing open access to the 20 million web developers out there to rich audio, video, and content sharing capabilities that they can incorporate into applications that you will use. And for some examples, I'm going to take from companies working in the WebRTC field. Talkbox, which is spelled T-O-K-B-O-X, talkbox.com, has a number of applications where they've worked with marketing organizations. The Chatting Cage application for Major League Baseball allows fans to call in over video from their browser using WebRTC so that they can talk with players, and that can then be recorded and made part of the program. Another example is a company called Ring DNA, that's one word, ring, letters DNA.com, which integrates with Salesforce.com, but provides both sales and marketing people with numbers they can call. So if I click on an online ad, you can track that. But if I make a phone call, how do you track that? So they allow you to create new phone numbers for all of your Google AdWords or your online banners or even your print advertising. And when those numbers are called, all that information and information of what campaign is being called against and what are the volumes and what's being successful is all integrated with your online activity, once again providing a complete marketing orchestration.
So for any marketers or communicators listening right now who are interested in integrating WebRTC as part of the customer experience, what should they do next?
The key is really the standardization, the standard body that's going to pull this all together and ensure that everybody speaks like in an Android world, but in a much larger platform environment, speaks with one particular standard in mind.
So the takeaway is that you should be engaging with your agencies, your internal IT teams, and other consultancies that help you, and ask them what is their understanding of WebRTC and cloud communications, and how are they bringing the skills to help you.
And also, I think we should highlight that this isn't just about the private sector. Public sector, let's take like the healthcare subsector, for example. I was involved in an event not too long ago where we involved the CTO, the Chief Technical Officer from Canadian Blood Services, who was saying he could see the potential in WebRTC in that nurses at Canadian Blood Services could potentially use that technology to communicate with potential donors. And what it's all about is that face-to-face, in-the-moment, contextually relevant interaction with the person you're communicating with to build that trust and personalize an experience for somebody. And you got to remember, using this kind of technology, you'll be able to, when we say contextually relevant, it's because you'll have, of course, tracked that person's history of interacting with your website and have all that data. Because this is a browser-based technology, this is something that could be used, obviously, and integrated into web apps. This is an open source technology for developers, relatively easy to implement. Are there any resources on WebRTC that you'd like to recommend?
There are all kinds of different organizations that are working, I'll call it independently of WebRTC as a generic repository, where these individual groups are in fact forming the standard. The key is getting involved, and Google WebRTC, get yourself involved and invested in a variety of different associations and think tank groups, and become not just educated, but also help to channel that knowledge into your own organizations.
Two immediate places to get help. One is there's a publication called WebRTCworld.com with a lot of articles and activities. And then there's pointers to all kinds of blogs and other activity that you can find on Twitter using the hashtag #WebRTC.
Lawrence, how can people reach you if they have questions?
So I can be reached at Lawrence Bird, that's Lawrence with a W and Bird with a Y, B-Y-R-D, all one word. And you can find me at Lawrence Bird on Twitter, on Gmail, on LinkedIn, and also writing at WebRTCworld.com.
Mark, how can people reach you if they have questions?
I can be reached through the Ottawa Product Management Association at mark.lindsay, Lindsay, at Ottawa, OTTAWA, PMA.org. That's ottawapma.org.
Listeners, I hope this discussion helps you navigate today's competitive marketing landscape. WebRTC is certainly something to think about to better engage your organization's consumers within the overarching customer experience mix. I hope you found this useful. Thanks very much. Have a great week.